Hello, dear travelers, and welcome back to another episode of the Travelcast. Today, I would like to dive into the world of the adventure of Robin, the person who traveled more than 60 countries, who has a dream to travel the most sustainable way as possible, and who always find some philosophy in his travels. Robin, welcome. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining.
cheers for having me, man.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Man, I'm all right.
All
I'm
right.
sitting here in the basement drinking Büble beer
Oh.
um, that my father bought. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying life as good as it gets.
Cool.
How are you?
Man, I know that you just came back from the adventure, from pretty big adventure. Um, so from Australia, right? And
Yeah,
you've been there for 6 months or something like this.
yeah,
Uh, can you what did you do there and why 6 months?
yeah, man. I mean, long story short, I applied for an internship there at a school.
Mm-hmm.
I studied education, so to become a teacher for geography and sports. But I do speak English decently, right? So I thought maybe I can go to an English-speaking country and get some experience there. I went to a school, and they have a so-called German immersion and extension program. And since I'm German, so I'm also speaking English fluently, German apparently. They accepted me as a language assistant there, so they teach bilingual. So they teach some classes, all the materials in German, and they
Mm.
need people who can help the students to I don't know, learn the language practically. To have a conversation. When I heard about that, I was really fascinated. I thought cool, they have a school where they teach in German, but it's not a German or international school, just a normal Australian high school. Eventually, most of the students couldn't speak German, right? Like on a really basic level. So I spoke more English than German there. Still, the stuff in the stuff room, the language stuff room. Most of them spoke German. They were Germans, Austrians, or Australians who speak German, or New Zealandish, what's that, New Zealander, who spoke German. So it was interesting being on the other side of the world, and then having a German community there, so it gave me a feeling of an expert, to be a person who's in another country, um, working there for some time. Yeah, even though it was more like volunteering, so I didn't earn money there. They gave me guest families, and food and drinks, and yeah. So I didn't really have costs too much.
All
'Cause
right.
Australia is expensive, man.
Yeah, man,
It's,
West is yeah. And could you travel during that time? Did you have some
I
visa?
had to leave the country after 3 months because I had to re-enter the country because of
Mm-hmm.
my visa. So I went to Fiji for a week and a half or so. And I also traveled a little bit in Australia with my guest families in the area around. I was in Brisbane, so this more in the northern part of Australia, which is warmer. So while I was there was winter, but because it was southern hemisphere, I mean, while there was summer here, I was there
Mm-hmm.
when there was summer here and winter there, but it was still warm. It was still 25 degrees sometimes in
Mm-hmm.
winter. They have the hottest winter day with 36 degrees there, in the history. So it was still all right to stay there. It
Yeah,
was
right.
not. It was actually quite good, yeah, weather-wise. Yeah.
And how is it like this? Let's say this Australian lifestyle. I heard that they
Mm.
have this reputation of cheerfulness that always you know. But I don't know, it's stereotypically. So I don't know, definitely people are still people, and there's many of them, right?
Mm.
So and yeah,
Yeah.
how did you find yourself into connection with some locals?
Yeah, man. I mean, you got a good point there. That people are different. Because often people come up with stereotypes, right? People say something, whatever. Oh, you're from Belarus, or you're from Germany, and they think things without. If they've never seen you, they will have some pictures, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, And I would say like it's also like same with Australia, like what you say, like cheerfulness, yeah, like or like also mateship, right? Like people always say mate, and
Yeah,
like
man.
easy going, I would say like to some degree, yeah, that's right. Like the people are also more informal. Like in Germany, for example, you have to write an email. Like you write like dear sir or madam, really formal. Like in Australia, just say hi, or like it's really like um, yeah. Like I mean, in German also you have like a formal way to talk to people. You would always write in an email. Australia, it's like everyone's your mate, kind of. Like you go on the street, like the experience that I had, like this time, because I was there once before, but like as a traveler, more as a backpacker, and now I actually stayed in one quarter for most of the time. Um, so I stayed in the suburb, and I felt like it's a bit like a mixture between somehow like maybe more like European culture in a way, like British culture, but also American culture. But then also like there are a lot of people from lots of different countries, a lot of Asian countries, lots of
Mhm,
Asian restaurants and all. Like in some cities they have like Thai markets or festivals, for example. So yeah, like, and I would say like the people, they're friendly, like they don't want to have conflict so much. Like for example, Germans love discussing things, like people are really straightforward. They're gonna tell you, hey, I don't like that shit, man. And like people are like, what the fuck, how rude. But
mhm.
like for us it's more like, for like also stereotypical German, yeah. Like it's more like it's an insult when you're not honest about something, right? Because like people would smell it, they will be like, this is just like someone who wants to give me a compliment but they don't mean it. They think it's fake. And like in this way, like for Germans, Australians might be a little bit fake. Like they're a bit like too nice.
Mhm, mhm. Too good to
Yeah,
be true.
let's say it like that. But I think it's good, like in some to some degree. Like you go out on the suburb, like I lived in the suburb. People, they say hello, they say, hey, good day, mate. You greet the bus driver, you say hello to the bus driver, you say thank you to the bus driver. I see that really, really, like sometimes in Germany, really rarely, but like almost like here, I go through my village right now. My father's in the village. I go around here, and people like they're not, but they don't want to say, they don't want to look at you, they don't want to say hello. They just want to be like minding their own business. Yeah, but like yeah, like interesting. But you can see like it's something else, not European culture. Like yeah.
Well, and how is it like, let's say, for you, this, not necessarily with Australia, but in general, like any other trips and like
Mm,
even back then, like when you was just starting, yeah, like so, like it's part of the travel of adventure to face the culture differences and different approach or everything can be different upside down, and definitely it's shaped us as travelers. So, and like, did you experience on yourself such a change? And if so, or changes, yeah, maybe they're constant. So, like, can you open this one?
yeah, and I think, yeah, like I do believe like there's a constant change in a way.
Mm.
Um, yeah, like when you meet different people, I kind of believe, like might sound like some new age stuff, but like you meet people and you have some connection, like like if you whatever like if you have on the same place at the same time, like the universe did all of those things and you ended up in the same place, like you're gonna have some exchange. I don't think that everyone who travels necessarily like becomes a better person. I also don't think everyone has to travel. Like you need to feel comfortable with it yourself. And like some, like I mean, people, they might, I don't know, book all inclusive hotel somewhere in Egypt or whatever, and they're just by the beach, at the pool drinking, which is fine. I just want to enjoy the holiday in good weather, but they don't really adopt the culture. Like for example, like you go to a Muslim country like Egypt, and you go there and drink, you know, all the time or whatever, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you should be like try, like I think it's more beneficial when you try to understand how the people are living, you know, like the to try to understand the lifestyle. And I mean, like you can just do it for a day, maybe, you know, like try to meet some locals for a day, hang out with them, and then you can still go back to your Western country or whatever, you know, and like live your old lifestyle, you know. And then if you disliked what you've experienced, then it's also good because it shows you like maybe you appreciate your home culture more in a way, you know. Um, but like yeah, like I think you can have a great exchange when you make friends with people from other cultures, with other religious backgrounds maybe as well, and those things, you know. um I've changed a lot, yeah, definitely. Like I still am, and I think that's also a bit of a thing, you know. Once you go back home, maybe the biggest change is not while you're traveling, but when you go back home, you know, and you meet the people who haven't traveled, who never like left their comfort zone, you know, and they won't really like maybe like understand what you experienced, you know. um so like I think it's really great when you have a friend, a mate, or a partner that also loves to travel with you the way that you do, because then you can share those stories afterwards. But also like solo traveling is really really interesting because you can just do what you want, you know. You can just, like, I'm a person, when I travel, I like to say yes to a lot of things, you know. And then I get into situations where I know a lot of my friends, they would never do that, you know. So like, and if I would travel with them, then like, you know, like I would, I wouldn't do things that I might want to do, you know, in a way. So yeah, there you can experience yourself. You can learn about yourself when you like. I think for me, the craziest experience, or like the most meaningful, where like culture wise, probably going to India with a friend of mine who's also Indian, who lives in my hometown. Like who studied there, going to his village for a couple of weeks, and then traveling, solo traveling for a few weeks as well. Um, yeah, like it's, man, like you just see, you know, like it's the same world, you know, but it's a different life. Like and like I see a lot of things, like a lot of complaints and a lot of like things like people think they have to have in Germany, like, or like in Western countries, also in Australia. People think I deserve that. Like like I think differently about those things. Like seeing people like carrying like horses things on the mountains, for example, you know, like things like I've never seen before, like animals on the street, like religious experiences, like festivals where people were like, thousands of people were like moving together. And man, like just the smells. I mean, but it's definitely not for everyone, you know. Like some people, they would go there, they're gonna be like, oh, like there's a lot of like the negative things, you know. And I like I also like I don't think any place is just good or bad, you know. Like it's not like Germany is better than India, for example, you know. I don't believe that, you know. Like there are bad places in Germany where you don't want to be, you know, for sure, you know. Also like in Australia, United States, Poland, whatever, you know, like every place is good. Like they're big countries, you know. Like just one city can have like really nice or really bad places, you know. So like just because you went to a place and you made one bad experience doesn't mean that the place is bad or the people are bad, you know. Um, so if I'm drifting away from like the question that you were asking.
Well, man, like actually, what I also wanna touch. I wanna go to India. Like with your
Yeah,
story, you know. Did you go? You said
you're
you with
definitely gonna
friends.
have
So
a
like
good
it
time,
was.
man.
Yeah, it was regular trip, like with a friend, or like you did also, guys, something like volunteering or backpacking. What did you do, guys?
Now it was like I didn't work there or whatever. Even though like now I got some contacts of people who told me like I would have some options to do things there.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is also like I think the way I did it, like staying somewhere, let's say even for a few weeks, is different
Mm-hmm.
than staying somewhere for a year. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like because then becomes from traveling to actually moving somewhere. like a long time ago, probably like 10 years ago. So I had this like bucket list thing, like where I wrote down things that I would like to do. I mean, I'm not also like, I don't take it too seriously, whatever happens, happens, and what doesn't happen was not supposed to. But it said that I would like to live on every continent, like, and like what is living somewhere.
Mm.
I would say like staying half a year at one place, like I did in Australia, kind of counts. Um, but like just being somewhere for some time, always moving. It's not really living there. Like even if I would spend half a year in India just traveling around, it's not living there, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always meet different people. You don't really live the daily life at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's also like it's a different type, like it's way more exhausting actually to move around all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in India, I just yeah, like I just went there for traveling sake.
Mm-hmm.
But I met a lot of nice people, and then also like there was a different feeling, like I know the word bhai and didi and behan is like kind of like sister and brother in Hindi. The people, it's like they always call each other brother and sister, and they will call me brother as well. And like I
Mm-hmm.
always felt this like community, this like sense that there's something bigger than money, for example, for a lot of people, that they really try to be nice to you because they think it's the right thing to do, because they're religious as well. And like here, like I know a lot of people, a lot of like also friends of mine maybe who say religion's dangerous, and all of those things. But actually, like I'm not really afraid of like the people that have values that are more important than money. Like people who have like basically like not really much for like our Western standards. They shared everything with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like and this like also I feel like when I came back from my first trip to India, I was talking with my brother-in-law and I explained to him how I lived in the village there, and like they had goats and like cows and like chicken or whatever in their backyard, and then someone would come and put them on the fields, and how they would exchange like lentils or rice with the neighbor. Like they also all know each other or like are related to each other. And my brother-in-law, he was kind of like, when I explained him like, oh, we're like sitting down the ground and she's like using the wood and the dried cow poop to light a fire to make bread on it or whatever. And eventually I tell him all those stories and he's like, but like so they were poor. And I was like, I was kind of annoyed, like yeah, they don't have much money. But like I don't think that first of all it's not their fault. It's the fault of the system, the big system in general. And then the other thing is, I don't think that money makes you a good person. I felt like a lot of people there were like really happy, like
Yeah.
generally, like satisfied in a way more than a lot of the people that I know in some Western countries, who are
Mm-hmm.
always like feeling this like pressure or loneliness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's also a thing like about India, like yeah, you can talk about like arranged marriages, you can talk about like the trash, the pollution that is there, about gender inequality, the caste system. Obviously, like for like someone who's not used to that, like we might think it's a bad thing, or we are actually as white people, like you go there and you are kind of like privileged, because the British went there and they kind of like put themselves on top of this, above this, or kind of something like this. Um, also arranged marriages, like you tell people, they think like it's crazy or like really bad. But I think we are not the people who should judge that. Like I think like first of all, this stuff also happened in Europe. Like we also had a caste system, we also had all those things. um, but then also saying like they live in a different time or whatever is also, I don't know, like not really reasonable. Like there are a lot of people that don't get forced to do that. And I feel like it's just a different culture. Like you cannot go there, like you should respect that. Like I think if you want to go like to like India or what I said before, like in an Arab country, maybe like Saudi Arabia or whatever, and you want to walk there in a bikini, to protest against the system, you shouldn't do that, man. Like it's not your culture, it's not your, like, I mean, like it's what I think. I think people won't understand it. They will be offended. Like
Yeah,
obviously
like some
you
tourists come in, like, same like stories happens on like Bali or something. Yeah, when like people drive in shitty way, disrespectfully, and like local kind of becoming unhappy. Okay, not Bali, like Barcelona. Yeah, like, or in Italy. Yeah, like also tourists like overdo some activities, and like locals becoming unhappy with this, and becoming
yeah, man.
against it.
Like
Like, so
lots of
you
places
you come
nowadays.
in there and you go, but these places stay these places with their traditions, with their way of living, with their everything. You just one of them. Like you just fly, come and go.
Yeah,
So like,
I
and like if
believe.
you will be, yeah, trying to approach a culture and say, "Oh, what the fuck they're doing? They it's wrong." No, there's no wrong.
Yeah, or at least
There's no
you
wrong.
should at
It
least you
is how
should
it
ask
is.
some questions. Why do they do that? Like and like try to get behind the surface. Talk to
Yeah,
the people, ask them if they're happy
yeah,
about it. Don't tell them, oh, it's not good. Ask
yeah,
them, do,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
think it's good?
Maybe
Or like,
actually what they do, and they can show you the way and like explain why, and so, and
yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
end you will be, crap, this makes sense. Actually, like I mentioned from myself that, like I have some things. Okay, what come in really fast, but it's a little bit funny in like, in my example. Uh, when I've been in Portugal and my friend place, like, so like did laundry, regular stuff, and then his mom, like, again, for you maybe it will be funny, but for me it was something what I took from local culture. So it's where
Mm.
I'm to this topic I'm going. And like his mom is, he did socks kind of like inside, so like two socks together and look nice, and you don't lose them, yeah. So, and
Yeah,
that's it, and it's nice to pack. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually cool stuff. And then I started to do it in my life,
yeah,
and I had other things like this as well, but kind of like don't
yeah,
have
yeah. But like simple things,
so
yeah,
fast come into my mind.
yeah,
Okay, I don't know, crap, like what I had, something with food connected. I also had many things, like about
yeah,
like
man.
daily,
I mean,
regular, simple things. So
yeah,
maybe
like
you have
even
some
yeah,
of,
cutting things, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like yeah, definitely, man. I know like lots of things like I've learned from other people. And also, I personally believe, it's like also like there isn't really like just good or bad or black and white. And there's also they're not like smart people and dumb people, for example. Like you can learn something from everyone. And like you just need to know like what is this person interested in. Yeah, and I think when you travel, you should like always like see yourself as a guest. Like be respectful. Don't
yeah,
see yourself like you own this place. But yeah, and like the example that you just had before, like what I've learned like from some people is like putting my clothes on a cloth hanger. Washing them, putting on a cloth hanger,
uh
like
huh,
instead of like letting them dry on like a cloth horse or like
yeah,
something, and then put them together. I just put them on the cloth hanger and put them, hang them up immediately on the
yeah,
like whatever. Like, and I saw that in Thailand. I know also like some people in Germany might do that or somewhere else, in Europe.
uh huh,
But
yeah,
like this also thing, like individual culture, you just see. This is also an amazing thing, about like living with locals. See those like basic things of daily life.
mm-hmm.
And you can think about like because you've learned something from your parents or from your family. And then you go to another family or to another person's household and just see, oh, they do things differently, and it works kind of better. And then you can just adopt that. It's a great thing, yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned like this India about the pollution, like, so is it like for real like this? Like, let's say bad, or like depend on the city? How is there? And did you feel like
Mm.
physically, like when you breathe, should you keep the masks or something? How is it
Yeah,
in the
thing about India is, India is a big country,
it's huge, yeah, it's huge.
so like you can't compare it to like Poland or Belarus, right? Or even like Germany. It's way bigger, and especially population is huge. So they have thousands of huge cities there, and they're different. Yeah. So, and like in the north you have mountains and it can be really cold, and then in the south you have rainforest. So it really depends on where you go. One place, like the big cities, like let's say Mumbai, Delhi, um, they will have certain amounts of pollution definitely when you go around there. Depends also on where you go there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mumbai is better because it's by the coast. I went to a place called Jaipur, which is a capital of the state Rajasthan, where my friend lived. Which is a city with I think around 3 to 4 million people living there, and it's kind of in the desert, you know. So you will have a lot of dust there as well. Like you will have dust from like the desert, but
Mm-hmm.
then you will have people burning their trash somewhere on the street, you know, at some places, because they don't have like a recycling system or whatever. So they need to dump it or you know like burn it basically. So some people they burn it. Also in Mumbai you will like I saw like kind of like small piles with like I don't know, coal, like just dark burnt plastic, basically, you know, like on the street somewhere, like relatively like in the city, people just burning piles of trash, you know, on the street. And then you will have that in the like in the air, obviously. You will see that in the morning, especially when the sun is rising. You would see that mist. Um, and yeah, like you will also see the trash on the street, yeah. You will also see animals walking around, especially like in Jaipur and in Mumbai and Delhi. I didn't see that too much, but like yeah, in like more like traditional cities, you will definitely see that. And they will also like they will poop there, right? They might die there because they also eat the trash, and then they starve, you know, because of the trash in their stomach, and then other animals like dogs will come and eat that maybe. I saw dogs eating bones and stuff like that, and just being like street gangs at night, you know. And then like yeah, like so you will like it's like in public in some cities you will think it's quite dirty, like maybe as a like European or whatever, you know. But then there are also places that are really more natural, like little jewels. Um, and yeah, like that's definitely one thing that made me think a lot while I was there, because I felt bad about buying things that were packaged because I knew I couldn't throw them in the trash, you know. Which for me as a German, like you know, like we love recycling, you know, like we have 16 different bins for like you know, like and then you like I went to the Himalayas there to a guy called Billy, like who runs a camping site there, you know, who was just opening this camping site. And I met a friend of Billy who was telling me when I go there, I can call Billy. So just called Billy and I could stay there for free at his place, basically. And
Uh-huh.
I helped him to build up the tents and all. And then, like, at his camping site, while I was there, I also wanted to help him, right? So I collected all that trash that was laying around there, you know? Um, and then, like, I put all that trash somewhere, you know, and then Billy comes and he's like first of all he told me I shouldn't work there. I was like, dude, I want to work here because it was like you're the guest, and I was like, yeah. But then he was like, oh nice, you collected the trash, cool, we can burn it over there later in the bushes, you know. And I was like, man, I don't want to burn the bushes and the forest, you know, with the trash, you know. And eventually we put that trash in the like bottom layer, the fundament of the tents, you know, because you have to put them on a height a little bit, like on something, so the water doesn't go in when it's raining. um it was the best thing we could do, you know. But like there's trash, like, and like then he asked me what should we do with it, you know. And I understood, like this was the moment where I really understood you cannot do anything with that trash, you know. Like it's laying around there, they cannot, there's no one coming picking it up, they can just burn it, you know. It's the best thing they can do for themselves so it doesn't lay around, you know. And obviously it's a big problem for the environment, you know. But like I also there, like Germany is way worse for the environment than India, you know, like per person at least.
What do
So
you mean?
I mean like the carbon footprint, for example, like of
Mm-hmm.
me, like
Mm-hmm.
not me personally, but like as a like average German, is way higher than those of an Indian, of an average Indian, you know. Obviously not like the super rich Indians or whatever, you know,
But
but like
but why?
because I had a lot of classes about this in
Yeah, I
geography,
know,
and
and so mostly.
there are like websites where you can check that, like ourworldinData.org. They have a lot of data about this, because our life.
In the So after some technical issues, now we're back, and man, as I remember, we stopped on the topic of this difference of, like, let's say, why Indians has lower footprint than Germans, and I just
Yeah,
was curious why so.
yeah, I mean, like, it's just things like we have more access to things, to like resources. But like, for example, I read the statistic, like 80% of the world population never went on a plane,
Oh,
so think about
for
that.
real? Oh man, oh, this is like something new for me.
Yeah, think about that, man. Like, now think like you are one of the 20%, right? So like,
Yeah, seems like.
and I mean, like, all of those things, like everything we do, everything we consume, it comes from somewhere. It has some impact on the environment, and just like in, especially in Western countries, but also in countries like the OECD countries, the oil producing countries, they also like they just like consume a lot, like, and all of those things, like they just cost a lot of energy, and also, yeah, our industry is just different. And yeah, but like what I think, like here, for example, like in Hanover where I live, I know, like, we have a recycling station, right? Like there's like the people, like we have those bins, like for different types of things, like for packages, for paper, for like waste, for organic waste, and then like it gets recycled in some way, even though like Germany is also not great at recycling, like there's also gets exported, but like our trash, like when I have something that cannot be recycled, here it gets burned, and we produce energy with it, right? Like it gets filtered, like this is the way we deal with it, and you have a country like India, where like there are like more than 17 times more people are living in India than in Germany, for example, and they don't have any like power plant like this. They cannot, there's way more potential in those countries actually to do something, and it's not that the people don't want that, it's just that we don't support them with it,
Mm-hmm.
in a way. That's my opinion about it. um yeah, but like, so like, I don't know, like, if everyone would live the same lifestyle as we do in the West, there wouldn't be enough resources for people, so I think we need to learn to share, so everyone will have enough to live a sustainable life, so everyone will have enough food, here we have a system. It's called food sharing. My father just went there earlier. So like, so it's like an organization, an NGO, that
Mm-hmm.
collects food from supermarkets that the supermarket will throw away, and you can pick it up for free. Yeah, you can just go there and you get a lot of like Brötchen, like those little buns that we have in Germany. Get bananas, you get whatever yogurt, you get yeah, like fish, mushrooms, whatever kind of stuff, uh, and like this is just like how much we here overproduce, while there are also like people not having enough food, in this world, like hundreds of millions, and like for me, I don't know, like, I prefer more actually to like, I would like to help people, while traveling. So like earlier, before we started recording, like you asked me if I was volunteering in Australia, and I
Mm-hmm.
said no, even though I worked there without earning money, because I feel like for me volunteering is more like something like actually helping, like giving some of your privilege away to support others in a way. Um, but I've never really done that. It's something that I would like to do, but like, yeah, like I know people who did that, and I want to do that in the future to like work at the farm, to like
Mm-hmm.
have contact with some people in Africa where they have orphanages. So
Mm-hmm.
like they help children and all. I don't know, like yeah, I think that's more like, better like to give some of your privileges away, you know, like to learn how people on the other side live, you know.
Mm.
I mean, for me, like I'm always like, the thing is, you know, when I go, let's say I go to Uganda, you know, and I work there with people, like I can always go back, you know, like I can always say, okay, it's enough, you know. But some people, they will live like that their whole life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, indeed.
like I saw things also in India, you know, like I went to some festival, and like randomly I also met some other travelers there. And like, you know, they were, for example, they were afraid of some interaction with some local people, you know, getting touched by them or whatever, or eating the food, you know. And like I like I'm not really afraid of those things, you know. Like when I go somewhere, I believe, you know, the people, they do that every day, you know, like you can do it for a couple of days, you know, and you'll be fine. And I kind of like it, you know, like I don't know, like India really fascinated me, like by the way, like this brotherhood that I mentioned earlier, you know, like it doesn't matter, you know, like yeah, there's trash, you know, there's no recycling system or whatever, you know, but I feel like there was different sense of community, at least for me.
Mm.
But then also I'm a foreigner, like I wasn't born there. I'm not part of this caste system. I don't know how it would be if I would be like, let's say, Indian, you know, and then like I would be treated differently, you know, like so maybe they just like I don't know, maybe I think everyone makes different experience. I also heard people, like I met another German girl in Australia, and she told me she hated India, you know. I think she was like, the people were like this, and like I always felt like that, you know. And I mean, quite individual. I mean, also about Germany, I met people. They told me how Germany is the nicest country and the people are so friendly and da da da. You know, other people are like, "Oh, Germans are rude." You know, I had the worst experience there. You know, I'm like, okay, like whatever. You know, like
Yeah, yeah, it's all like on based on personal experience.
yeah,
But
yeah,
man,
and
like,
also the
have
general
you
mood,
ever
I think. Yeah,
like have you like because you mentioned this stuff like yeah, it would be nice to go to live like this like brotherhood and so whatever.
yeah.
But like for me, kind of some idea came to my mind, and I like personally me, I never thought about it. You know what I'm talking about is kind of you know, like there is a different way of travels, and like one is like tourist, like hotel, comfortable, another like backpacking and so on, and another, let's say, we're talking mostly, let's say, about the slow way,
Mm,
come to live, to try. But and again, we kind of coming from nowhere, yeah, like to another country. Maybe a little bit from Western perspective, it's even, let's say, even more different from privileged country. We go, let's say, less privileged country and we leave. But again, we leave, we hang out, maybe we help, yeah, maybe we just leave to feel the vibe. And anyway, sooner or later we leave. And like, isn't it somehow a little bit treating it as a game, you know, kind of that we come, we play, it was cool, nice, fun, cool locals, I like. But then like this moment and you leave. And it's not only you leave kind of, you also you got close to the people or like to community or to the country and you leave and so other people said but for you it's kind of let's go to another journey, yeah. So what do you think about, of course maybe it's more like philosophical and more like blah blah and like individual. Personally I never felt this way, but I think it's also valid that we can see from this way that you just come, hang out and then you leave, you know.
yeah, I mean, I think that there's no problem about that. You know, like man, I mean, I think a lot of funny shit can happen like that. And I mean, you remember the night in Warsaw where we went out, you know, just randomly, like on that park, you know.
Yeah.
It was like it was funny as fuck, man. You know, like and we just had this random group, you know, and like just random stories come, like and people from different countries come together, you know, and hang out and share their stories and their laughters, you know, and then like it definitely helps us to, you know, like get closer to each other, you know, and overcome also stereotypical things, or things like, I don't know, just having contacts, makes us feel less alone. And especially you can go, if you keep the connection, it's not gone,
Also true.
in German we have a saying, it's man sieht sich immer zweimal im Leben, which means you always meet twice, basically. So it means that there's no thing, there's no goodbye, there's just see you later or see you again, basically, so you can also later on, um let's say you meet someone, I met people, for example, from Mexico, really nice people from Mexico, yeah. And or better example, when I was in Australia in 2017, yeah, I had a working holiday visa and I went there, and I met this Italian guy, Stefano, randomly in Sydney, just on the beach. He asked me if could take a picture of him, and we chatted, and then we were just like, hey, we want to hang out together, and then we were kind of best buddies for a couple of weeks while we were both there, yeah, and going out together, going to the beach together and shit like that, And then 2017, yeah, last year I went to Australia, to Italy, yeah, this Interrail ticket. So I remember that he told me he lives in Ancona. So I just texted him because I had this contact somewhere on Facebook or Instagram or something. So I just texted him, hey Stefano, what's up? Do you remember me? We met in Australia and da da da. And he was just also texting me oh, dude, of course I remember you. Yeah, come around, be my guest, my friend. 7 years after I met him the last time, or 6 years, just met him there, we never had contact afterwards again, But he hosted me and a friend I was traveling with, he hosted us for a week, we went to lots of different things together, and I don't know, just this feeling this is awesome, kind of feeling like brotherhood, if you meet people, and you just know okay, they're they have the equal mindset in a way, they would just open their doors for you, they'd be there for you, um so yeah, there I wasn't thinking about would I ever see him again, I was do I know someone in this region? I was yeah, that's sure, Stefan, let's see if he's available, I mean, truth is also there's some people who will not reply to you, and all those things, There could also come up with stereotypes what kind of people would do that more. I leave it. Um, yeah, and this is also quite individual, I think, on how people think of you, how they remember you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I just personally, I think some people, they're actually a bit racist about it, or sexist also, about what kind of people they want to hang out or they want to meet, um so but usually I don't know, it's you can make friends, I made lots of really really cool friendships, while traveling,
And how you usually connect with people online or randomly on streets?
yeah, yeah,
Which level you are already?
I think for me random on the streets depends on the country,
Yeah.
um and depends on the situation, yeah, I mean, you can do that. I think, for example, in India that's possible, in India you can talk with people on the bus, or I had a lot of random encounters also just with your rickshaw driver, if you but it also depends on you if you want to talk with them, I sometimes I just go there, just hey, bye, how you doing, da da da, and I just talk with them, um in Germany, for example, I think it's not that easy to make friends on the street, but depending on where you go, you can also do that, let's say you go to Berlin, or to my city in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of kiosks outside where people get beer, or you just talk with them, if you have a group and there's another group, you can come together. We call that corner, being on the corner, and drinking together. um but what I usually do is I think when you go to a hostel, if you do that, it's quite easy to connect to people in a hostel, because they have some social events and all, you just see there's a free walking tour and you ask another person if they want to go there with me or something. But also depends on your personality. If you're not so outgoing, and you need to ask people. Otherwise, on the internet, yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, like couch surfing, but also depends on where you go and how you use it, who you meet. Like in bigger cities, it's easier to meet people on the hangout. If you're in a smaller
Yeah,
city
yeah, yeah.
or like in a region where it's not so popular, it might be a bit difficult. Um, you can use like other in Australia, it's something called Meetup. I think they also have it here,
Mm-hmm,
Meetup.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Then also like yeah, maybe Facebook groups. Yeah, like I mean, you can also, if you like, for example, volunteer, like you go to an NGO, like and
Mm-hmm.
people there, like yeah, um, but yeah, like I
So
mean,
yeah,
also
like differently, yeah, 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 yeah. Naturally, differently, yeah.
yeah,
Depending on the situation, location, and stuff.
I
And
think
about
nowadays
like,
internet is definitely a thing
yeah,
for like
and about like destinations, like what other exotic places you have, like from all these 60 plus, I don't know, 60 countries, yeah, I mentioned 60.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like thing
Like
is,
something what touch your heart, and like definitely India fascinate you, I already understand.
yeah, like also Fiji was also, even though I didn't
Fiji.
spend much time there. But like I didn't know much about Fiji. I just went
Uh-huh.
there because it was like relatively close to my place in Australia.
And like
Like
how
cheap,
how much time you spend there?
not just like maybe like 10 days or so.
Well, still like because it's
But
pretty,
like
it's
yeah,
a small
Fiji is
place, yeah.
hmm? It's
It's
really yeah it's really small. But there are lots of islands.
uh-huh.
But like the generally like the size is like the size of the Netherlands, yeah, of the whole country, or like even a bit smaller, And then like most of it is the main island where I was. Um,
Tell me,
and
how
like
was it? Like I know nothing about Fiji.
yeah, I mean, like weather there, it's like an island there in the South Pacific. So like it's warm there. Like while I was there, it was more like winter kind of, but since it's tropical,
Yeah, I
it's
already
really
understood. This winter is not winter.
yeah. I
It's
mean, it was still
it's
like
hotter than
30.
here summer, you know.
Yeah, here is like at night maybe 18 degrees the coldest, and then during the day like
Uh-huh.
30 degrees. And then there are a lot of like coconut trees and all. The people there itself, like there are a lot of like people who look Indian there, yeah, like 30%, 30-40%, and then most of the other people are like the native kind of Fijian people.
Oh,
Mm.
so and they look like native, all cool. Yeah,
They
like
yeah,
not.
yeah, they look more like they look a bit, they have darker skin, like bigger noses, a bit more
Mm-hmm.
like like the Aboriginals maybe in Australia kinda, but also a bit different. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Rock Johnson, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's got Samoan background, which is also an island there. Like I
Okay.
mean, like so, like and those island people, like they in Australia they call them island people. I don't know if that's like
Yeah, island people.
like but like yeah, they like kind of like like they look yeah, like you can see them. They have their own like look kind of.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But like then it's also mixed with that Indian culture there because the British brought Indians there to work on the sugar cane farms and all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they also have like Indian food there and all, like it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
mixed. Also then a bit mixed with Western culture. Then the houses still like I stay with some locals. Um, yeah, like it's more a bit like easy go, like an easy and traditional, but like the people are really chill. The people that I met, like really, really relaxed. Um, and then you have this tourist part, like with like resorts for like honeymoons with hotels. Um, yeah, but like generally, like the local people, they inspired me because they were like also like just sharing everything, like at night you just sit with a group of people and then they have this ceremonies with like they call it kava, is some kind of drink that you share that is like supposed to, I don't know, like not really, it doesn't make you high or drunk or whatever, but like it kind of stimulates you.
But
So
like
like
it
you like
energetically stimulates, or like energetically stimulate, like kind of.
like your mouth feels numb when you drink it, so it's
Okay.
some kind of like pepper plant. but
Okay.
like you drink the roots, and then when you drink it, your mouth gets numb, and like I don't know, like it's apparently it also takes away anxiety, makes you feel brave, and shit like that.
And like,
Um,
and what you after all this, let's say, ceremony, what did you do?
they did it like the locals like that I've met. They did it with me, like the males at least. They did it with me every night. We were sitting there and drinking kava, and then some people would play music sometimes, or
Ah,
like
and then just chilling, talking.
yeah, they're
Uh
just
huh.
chilling. It's like what we when we drink beer or whatever. Like they
Okay.
drink this stuff,
Interesting.
but you don't get hangover from it or whatever. It doesn't have any side effects. And then like people they have this like kind of like island music, like also what you think like Hawaiian music kind of with like like ukulele and all those things. And like they're just chilling, singing. Yeah, like was like really, really, yeah, really relaxed. I felt like time was different there. Also because I think it's such a small island in the middle of nowhere. They're like time runs differently. Like they just like I don't know, you just like in there. Like you don't stress yourself.
Oh,
Felt like there was no stress.
man, interesting. Crap, this is I think very like, let's say, exotic destination. I like to go there, to like
Yeah,
only
never
to
thought I
go
would
there. I
go there,
think
man.
nobody goes just there. Yeah, like you need to be all
I
region
mean, I
exploration.
mean, from Europe, it's so far away. So I think like Australians or people from New Zealand or you Americans, they might go there because they like their plane stopping there to go from one to the other. You know, but from Europe, and I had no idea what's going on there. Like what I thought about Fiji is from like American movies. When people go there on their honeymoon. Like oh yeah, we go to Fiji to
Yeah.
celebrate our like honeymoon. Uh, yeah, like so. Also, first I thought, I don't know if I want to go to Fiji. I wasn't thinking more about Papua New Guinea, yeah, PNG, but like I decided not to go, even though I would love to go there one day. But like it's more complicated to travel there. And I decided Fiji. Fiji was actually since like that island was so small. It was also like since I didn't have much time. Yeah, I just had a vacation for 14 days, and I don't like to rush too much, to just stay one day in the city or whatever.
Uh huh.
I thought that's good, because like you can drive around the main island in 8 hours, so like it's really small.
It's
So you
super
can
small.
drive
Yeah.
around the whole island easily. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm
Okay.
gonna meet some locals and drive around the island and maybe hitchhike there.
Did you camp there?
No, I didn't camp there,
Uh
but like
huh.
yeah, I stayed with different locals, and like that was like definitely like really, man, like the second family I stayed with was like a single mother with like 4 children and like some kind of housekeeper, and I slept on the floor with like the 2 other children in the room, and I stayed in the children's room, and then I don't know, like, man, I mean, it's like I can't really put it into words, man. Like the whole situation, the whole like household, how it looked like, man, how they cooked the food, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like the other family, like,
Yeah,
man, it's just
you
like,
usually on these YouTubers disappear like some photos, videos here, around the screen, but I don't have it yet, Maybe you can send
yeah,
me.
it's,
Try, yeah.
but like definitely that's the thing, when you're like me, who like a person who's like adventurous, likes to say yes to things. Um, you need to develop this like sense of like, am I safe or not? Because you need
Mhm.
to understand like, is that person just like really nice, genuinely nice? Like like, or does that person maybe want something back from me? I mean, I generally I believe like most people don't want to harm you. Like no one wants
Mhm.
to harm you for no reason or whatever. But like also like different situations. You should still be aware. And also like as a male, it's also different than as a female. Like
This is true,
you need to be
definitely true.
differently careful. But also there you need to make sure that you don't end up in like bad situations, not just people. It's also maybe just situations where you danger yourself because you go into nature where you're not supposed to be, you know, or like situations that like I had a few times that like wild dogs would chase me, you know, like
Mm.
when there's like suddenly 5 dogs there, street dogs, you know, like you're like fuck man, you know, like uh, I mean now I know like there's a trick for this.
Oh,
You have
tell
to
tell
you
me,
have
tell
to you
me.
have to pick up a stone or pretend that you pick up a stone. The dog they will run away. You know, it's
Ah,
like whenever you end up in this situation, pretend that you pick up a stone or something.
how did you figure out by yourself?
No. Someone told me, and then I
Okay,
tried it, and it kind of works.
all
So
right.
you don't even need to throw anything. But then they know, okay, he can use a tool. You know, he can fuck me. You know, so like and then they're
Interesting.
gonna
Okay,
respect you. You
okay,
know,
okay.
so yeah, street dogs can definitely they can be dangerous, man.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, even though like I'm dog lover and stuff, but I know that like street dogs can
Yeah.
be, again, especially if they're hungry or something
Or
like.
like, I mean, I've also seen how people treat them. You know, people kick them. You know, there's one situation in India where a guy he like also think like in India you can just hitchhike easily. Like sometimes like a guy on the motorbike would just take you for some time. You know,
This is
but
funny.
like
I never took a bike, to hitchhike. I would like to. I think I would, or maybe to take somebody or something because I think it's fun, kind of like, oh, hitchhike on motorbike is like
yeah,
shit.
man. I mean, I didn't do it long distance, but like in the city, you know, I told them like, hey, do we need to go there and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, jump on it. But like I had a situation where I was on the motorbike and then like we were going and then there's this bunch of dogs, you know, just coming and barking at the driver and jumping up. Like you can see the teeth, like you know, like they're going really wild, you know. And then the guy with the motorbike, he just hit them with the motorbike with the front wheel. He's just going to the side, psh, psh, you know, like hits the dog with the motorbike, so the dog runs away. You know,
It's
like
like another level.
yeah, man. I mean, sometimes you know, like I mean, I think you're safer, you know, when you just stay at home and do nothing in a way, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously there were lots of situations. I've seen my friend in India as well. Like my Indian friend got hit by a tuk tuk or rickshaw, you know. Like so he was standing by the street and this guy just hit him, you know.
Okay.
I mean, it was all good eventually, but like shit can happen. Like
Yeah.
you should be aware of that, you know. Like, and then you need to evaluate: is it worth the risk, you know, or like is it
Mm-hmm.
what I want, you know? Um, so I think I got into like some situations, you know, that were like could have been different, you know, like they might have been dangerous in some way, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
like eventually also like they made great stories, right? So and nothing ever happened, you know, like
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
I can also see now, you know, when I really feel uncomfortable in a situation, I get out of it, you know, just say okay, it's not worth it, or I change it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um Also think like also think for example also about couch surfing, you know, if you couch surfing at a place, it's not worth staying at the person's place where you don't feel comfortable to
Yeah.
save 20 euro or whatever and leave that fucking place if you don't feel comfortable, you know. Like money, yeah, like of course like it's a thing, you know. Like I also like to travel low budget, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is in countries like India it's definitely like relatively easy. But I've like also been in situations generally where at some point I say okay, I leave, you know, like I'm just, you know, like it's not
Yeah.
worth
Fuck
it,
it.
you
Like
know.
I go. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine like and we kind of touch it and but because of technical issue we kind of it's not this episode, but again, if you would like to open up a little bit like in general like your love to the travel, where it came from, like your geography class lesson teacher. Like because in my personal opinion I really like it, like that way it's all coming to people, this adventure feeling and like curiosity to have this exchange and openness to other culture, because as we already all podcast talking, you see it can be different, can be completely different and not easy, can be and dangerous and many cool moments, but you never know. That's the thing. So yeah, if you want, we can touch this briefly. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. So what do you think about it?
No, I wanna listen your story where you start your your
Well,
how to say passion to the
yeah, well,
adventure.
I mean, for me, I think it started like, as I mentioned in 2017, I went to Australia.
Mm,
I've been to some places before, but never alone and all. So just went there by myself. But like, it was also something that like a feeling that I would like to change something. I would like to see how it is somewhere else.
mm-hmm.
Um,
And you choose directly Australia, yeah, like let's
yeah,
let's do
because
let's do another part of the world. What's going on there?
yeah, man, I want to go to an English speaking country that is like Western, that is not the UK or Australia or America.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like Australia was relatively easy because they have this working holiday visa thing, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you can go there for a whole year and work there. So I thought it's a good idea to go there. Yeah, and as I said, like it was a bit like yeah, maybe not always so positive about like living in Germany and all. Eventually, like what I realized, first of all, people don't really like, first, like I think your nationality is not the most important thing, but your personality first of all. And like many people that I've met, they didn't have. I had like my picture of Germany was more negative than this of the people that I met. Um, so like yeah, like, and then I went to Japan after Australia, straight after Australia, because I had a friend and we consumed a lot of this Japanese culture. Yeah, we played Japanese games, watched the like series like One Piece and all those things. Yeah,
Nice.
and like he wasn't there, so I just decided I'd go there by myself because it's relatively close to Australia. And it was for me the first time really like being in a like non-Western culture all by myself, you know. Um, and like also like it's also a longer story, but like I just wanted to stay there for a week. Yeah, so like the first night I had like a couch surfer, and then the other nights I stayed in two different, like in one capsule hotel. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you heard of this, like just like
Mm-hmm.
a capsule you got, because I wanted to experience that. It was also relatively cheap. And then I went to like a normal hostel as well for a few days, and then I want to go back to Germany. But like I booked the last minute flight in Australia, and it had two stops in Russia and then one stop somewhere else and then another stop in Germany. Uh, and I couldn't take the flight to Russia because I didn't have a visa and the airport doesn't have a transit zone. So I just stuck in Japan. So I was just there at the airport, and then like I don't know, like shit happened. I needed to fix that, you know. And then I texted the couch surfing guy from the first night. I was like, hey, da da da, I'm still here if you want to hang out. He was like, you can come to our place, yeah. So eventually I stayed one more night in the hostel, and the next day I went to back to the Japanese place. There were
Mm.
like this was like a shared flat with like 9 people, like four women, 5 guys or so, two different levels in their like 30s, but living in a shared flat like that.
Mm.
And that was really like the first time I really like saw like how different shit is, man, somewhere else, you know. And especially what it opened up for me is like the situation of being a foreigner, you know. Like there was one other guy in that Japanese place, a Taiwanese guy who was also a foreigner, yeah, but like he could speak Japanese and all. But he told me like I hung out a lot with him because like his English was also really good, and like he wanted to spend time with me. uh, and like he always told me that he's jealous of me for like being German and speaking German and shit, you know,
Mm.
because he's like he's in Japan, and the people think he's Chinese, you know, even though he's Taiwanese, you know, and he says he hates China and all, um, whatever, you know, like but like for me it was like also when I went out by myself, like everything was so different. People like when many people wouldn't speak English, you know, even though they could, they would like you go into a 7-Eleven and the people speak Japanese with you, and you're like, arigato, and whatever, like, however, like I could see that it's like just for myself, not because of the Japanese people, like they were like friendly and all, but like it is not like there was an issue of just like going to people and talk to them, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I felt like I could understand how people feel when they come to Europe, when they come to Germany from other places, as a foreigner, like how frightening it might be to see people. And I think, like, for example, this is different in a country like India. In India, you can easily talk to people, on the street, on the
Mm-hmm.
bus, whatever, people will talk to you. In Japan, they won't do that. In Germany, they also won't do that. Germany, you also don't go on the train. People will just talk to you. Oh, like, oh, you're from like India.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like no German will do that. Like yeah, like I mean, not just go to you and ask you. Like it's too direct. Like too
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, like now like here it's just like the level of privacy is different. Also in Japan, I felt that like people have their zones. However, like it was like also really nice going there. But then, yeah, like once you see those, like especially like, yeah, different cultures, felt like to me another world is opening. So when I went to China, you turn on the TV and you see they have their own like casting shows, their own movies, their own music. Like everything is different. And like for me, it's also like it's cool to see that, but it also gives me this nostalgic feeling. Like I'm never going to be able to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like yeah, like, but like I can try. Like I can like at least like as much as I like at least the food. Like at least you can eat some local stuff. Even
Yeah,
though you cannot
yeah,
speak the language, you can try some of the local
yeah,
food.
yeah. You
Yeah,
know.
but and now it's like I realized how big the world is, and how different things are. Um, I don't need to see everything. Like I'm like as I said, it's a privilege. Like I'm happy for everything that I can see, and
Mm-hmm.
also like I don't actually don't really count countries or whatever too much because
Okay.
I think it's like different. Like if you go like for example in the India, for example, as well, it's like a huge country with different languages, different
Mm-hmm.
cultures. It's like Europe, like saying like, or you like, I mean, like Italy and Norway will be different. Like and like, so I think it's more like how intensively have you been to a place.
Yeah,
um
actually, with this, I also very agree about the intensity, about the knowing the culture, not just check in.
yeah, yeah.
I
And
was
if you
there, I
just
was here.
go somewhere for one day,
Yeah, yeah,
let's say
yeah.
you go to like whatever, like you go from Budapest one day, Bratislava one day, like Prague one day, Berlin one day, and
Yeah,
then you
this
fly
even
back home.
yeah, and then I'm
Like
at home
and then you say, "Oh, I've been to 4 countries or whatever."
in 1 week.
Yeah, but like, and I don't know, like it's different than like really at least spending like 2 or 3 days at the place. Like I think like if you can, sometimes you really don't have much time. You want to see different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I would at least stay 24 hours at the place to see
Mm-hmm.
a whole day, like at minimum. But I also like I think like villages are more interesting than cities.
I
Just
kind
to
of
see like the
lately
pure
also
culture.
like I think yeah curious more explore let's say village countryside or like smaller
Yeah,
cities where less touchable and let's say more region
yeah,
somehow again not by picture like not about the picture fuck the picture but more about the like again this feeling of these people like what's going on how it's going on
yeah. Like
yeah
like eating with some local people if you can.
yeah
Like like come here, visit me at my father's place. My father's gonna cook some German food. Tell some stories from his youth, how it looked like. I
Mm.
hosted some people on couch surfing here at my father's place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How do you father like
because I had that place in the city. It was amazing, man. Like
it?
and like also my father he speaks English fluently
Uh,
because he worked internationally and all. And yeah, like he cooked some German food, like and
mhm.
Like, I mean, then I can also like here you will have a different culture in the city, you know, like and like it's usually less international, right? Like you see
Yeah.
more like the local traditions, you know. One coast surfer I brought to some festival here. Like it's like for shooters, you know, for like hunters and all, you know, where
Mm-hmm.
people play like music and drink beer and all, you know, like and so like
German thing,
just
yeah.
yeah,
No,
so I just
no.
brought her to this festival, and like and to like some kind of pool party at my friend's place somewhere in the countryside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like like you can get like into like you know like closer contact with people, you know, because in the city it's always like also busy, you know. Like,
Totally, totally.
that's definitely good when you know people. It's always good, like if you know one person, that's good, you know, because if you have one friend somewhere, you know, he might know or she might know other people, you know, like you
Yeah,
can
yeah, 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 definitely, definitely.
have some kind of
Man,
network.
like so far, any upcoming travels, any like or any let me put it in the this way, you know. Any let's say, do you have any let's say dream destinations where you still would like to go from your bucket list?
Oh man, Igor, to you, I have to go to you.
To
It's
me,
this one.
yeah,
um,
baby.
Man, like they're like some like not really like a country or a single place, you know, but like regions that I would like to see. I would like to go more like to like Central African countries,
Mm-hmm.
like Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
central, but like yeah, countries like that. Um, I also have some contacts there in some like in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Ghana, in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, in Namibia, South Africa. South Africa, I have like German South Africans I met in Australia. I stayed with a family. Spoke German, but they were from South Africa. Didn't even know that was a thing, you know. But like, yeah. And like Latin America, definitely. So like, right now I'm thinking like because the last 2 years I traveled the whole summer, and then I was in Germany over the winter, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking like maybe like in January or something I should go somewhere where it's warmer.
Yeah,
Come back here like maybe
yeah,
in summer and spend
yeah.
some in
maybe,
summer. Because I
maybe
mean, you
we
know,
could be
like
smart.
European summer, it's
Yeah.
like festivals, parties, like
Yeah.
people are outside and friendly, and winter is
You
different.
know,
You know?
like if you go, let's say, in January, February, to South America, it's summer for them. It's one thing. Another thing is also this party time, carnival, and so on.
Yeah,
This experience, like, I think interesting in general to have.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I speak a little Spanish, and I would like to improve it. So like I was thinking, you know, like but also as a language teacher, maybe like to go to Mexico as a language teacher,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or like actually work at a school, because I can also teach German as foreign
Mm-hmm.
language. I also am working on a certificate for English as foreign language. So maybe like just you know like to get a little bit of income and then stay somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, like I mean, if I could, I think like it would be cool to go from Mexico all the way down to Argentina. You know, um,
Oh, this would be beautiful, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, like yeah, nothing. Like I need to think about it. But yeah,
Sure,
I
sure,
kind of I want to travel again, man.
sure, sure. I feel you. I feel you.
I
Man.
mean, it's also good, you know. Honestly, it's good to spend some time with my family and all, you know.
Yeah.
And I also have to say, just like European culture in a way. It's like what I've understood also last year when I traveled Europe. Um, like I just felt like yeah, like I would like to travel more in Europe. Um, but yeah, like it's also like I want to go somewhere like where there are palm trees. You know, like my dream is to live by the beach. You know, like I just want to get out into the water, man.
Yeah, you can make it. You can make it. All right, Robin. Thank you. Thank you. I have
Thank
one
you,
more
Igor.
question. I think it would be nice to wrap it up. So, like, if you could sum up your travel philosophy in one sentence or mantra, what it would be?
Hmm. Wow, you got me on the spot here. Um, I would say, like there's this song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a band like that used to be popular, and they have a song called "Around the World." They
Uh-huh.
say life is beautiful around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's something that you should try to that I want to see, like I want to see out like also the beauties of life, not just the beauties, but like yeah, like beautiful things like nature, like try to find something beautiful no matter where you go. It was
Mm-hmm.
more than one sentence, but
No, it was beautiful, man. Let's say, and I like it. Like very, very, very good approach. Uh, seeing the world. Say it again. Seeing the world. Seeing the beautiful world. Like interesting, man. Yeah. Anyway, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
yeah,
Me
thanks,
here.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, and really, really nice
Thanks for
stories, and
for
yeah, nice approach, nice philosophy towards like travel, towards life. I really enjoyed. So, where people, if they want to track you, where they can connect with you,
yeah, they can connect with me on Instagram.
Insta,
It's
Couchsurfing. I can put also
around
the
the world
link.
with Rob. What do you mean?
Couchsurfing also I can put the link.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
To visit you.
definitely. I mean, if there are any like questions or like, it's always good to exchange some contacts or
Mm-hmm.
like impressions. I'm always happy to help out or to have a discussion. Sure
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Coolly, coolly, coolly. Perfect, man. Once again, thank you for joining.
Yeah,
Virtual
thank you,
high
Igor.
five. Yeah. Let me thank you, man. And all other listeners, here and see you in another episode, right?
Yeah, cheers for listening.
Cheers. And cheers, shout out to Sasha. Let's see if he will listen.
Yeah, man.
All right, all right. I think I can